How has this line grown during camp so far?
Well, I think the spirit of competition. This is the most competition that we've had per position throughout my 4 years, going to my fourth year now, and I think that in itself makes it a lot easier to coach because the guy knows that if he doesn't have positive reps, the next guy's right behind him. So it's just the spirit of competition at this point.
Who have been some of those positive rep guys?
Positive rep guys. I mean, I'm so excited about Curtis Cawthorn and Parker Cawthorn, the Cawthorn brothers. They're not related though, but they got the same last name. I'm so excited about those guys. Seeing good things from Shaka Tony and Shane Simmons. Those guys have really stepped up their game. And then a guy that a lot of guys that haven't. I know you guys talked about him a little bit in the summertime, but Sharif Newman has had an outstanding camp.
What sort of rotation are you looking at numbers-wise? You've always used a lot of guys,
Yeah.
but it seems like this year, as you mentioned, you have even more guys. How many could realistically expect to play?
I mean, anywhere between 9 and 10. I mean, we got a lot of guys that can play. You want to put them in the right situation. Certain guys are better against the run, certain guys are better against the pass, and it's my job to make sure that they're put in the right position.
Where's a guy like Etor in that mix? Is he still fighting to get in?
Well, yeah, Etor's still in the fight. I mean, a very talented freshman, one of the most talented guys I've seen coming through here. But he's got a long way to go.
Is
When
he
you
a
say one
guy
of
who
those talented guys, what do you mean by that?
Well, he's just physically gifted. I mean, you look at him walk off the field, you think he's a redshirt junior. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. He looks like a Greek god. So when he walks off the field, but he's still young. I mean, he's still in the green.
Given that, does he have position flexibility to you, or is that too far off to determine?
Yeah, probably too often to determine. I mean, to me, he's a defensive end. That's the way you want him to work with him.
At what point were you and James kind of have that red, yellow, green talk with the freshmen?
Now, when I say green, I mean green meaning he's
Yeah,
still
that's what- yeah.
he's still at the
Yeah, I got
lightweight,
you.
and I don't mean anything
Yeah.
about red shirt. So
No, but when was your hip?
we've had several talks with the guys, and it's mostly Coach Franklin, just seeing how they will take being whether or not they want a red shirt or whether they don't want a red shirt, just their feeling on it. Obviously, we're going to do what's best for the team and put them in the right situation. If they're prepared and they're ready to go, then we have no problem playing them. If they're not prepared, we're not going to play them.
Who's behind the conference right now?
Right now, I would say it would be Robert Windsor and Kevin Givens. I kind of look at Kevin Givens as the fifth man, so to speak, because he plays on right away. He's going to get in the game if it's a long yardage situation. So, I look at him as a fifth man. But right now, if we were to look at it, those are the two guys behind him. But the thing is, Tyrell Chavis has done an outstanding job in camp, and we look for him to. He's so dynamic and he's so twitched up to be a big kid. We look at him to come in and do some things for us also.
James talked last week about how the perception of weight needed at defensive end has changed. And you've got a lot of guys who are considered underweight for that position. Can you talk, what's the new normal now at that position?
It just depends. I mean, if the kid can play strong, weight, I don't know if it's a factor because really a lot of people aren't running power football. You do face some teams that do that, but there's still a physicality at the game. So I don't necessarily judge it by weight. I wonder if that kid can play with great leverage and hold his position. I mean, if he can't do that, then clearly at that point it's less than weight, it's more technique.
Is that what you see from some of the guys?
Yeah, like I know you're probably referring to Shaka
Yeah,
Tony and Sharif. Sharif's 257 pounds. I mean, Garrett Sickles and Evan Swan were 257. I mean, we had the freak Carl Nassib, but that was 275. But I mean, that guy just comes around once in a while. So both of those guys play with great leverage. We work on technique, hand placement. So we're not going to get overwhelmed by weight. I want them to be able to transition from run to pass. So I don't want them too heavy. It's kind of a fine line between being too heavy and being too light.
You mentioned Curtis at the beginning as someone you're excited for.
I guess what makes you excited on him, and what about him this offseason do you think transition to the next year?
He's grown to 290 pounds. And not that he wasn't. He was probably mid-80s last year. But what I'll say about him, it was a position change. So he went from being a defensive end to being a defensive tackle. So at that point, he's able to transition now because he's had a year at playing that position. Playing the position and actually being moved to the position are two different things. And now being a year in the program in that particular position is going to help him out. He gives us versatility because he'll play five technique with some of the packages and things like that. And I just love his twitch up the ball.
What are some of the challenges this offense poses to the defensive line, not from the standpoint of playing them in practice, but in the third quarter they might only be on the field for 2 minutes when you guys have to go back out there?
Well, probably in scoring. So I like when they're scoring, go back out there and get a chance to sack the quarterback. But I don't know if that's a problem for us. That's just kind of what it is. That's the culture in which defensively, and we embrace it, and we don't have a problem with that. If they come 3 and out, we're right back on the field. If they sustain the drive for 16 plays, we're right back. We'll come on the field with 16 plays. So, we embrace what they do, and, and as far as in practice, what they do to us, it prepares us for all those games. I mean, it's very hard to emulate that in practice with the scout team. But when you get that every day from your offense, it's not going to be a shock when you play the game.
Do you have to manage that differently in a game, knowing that the offense is going to be off the field quicker, rather than maybe if you've got an offense that's going to take up 7 or 8 minutes off the clock and have 15 plays?
Again, I think having depth is certainly something that will help you with that, because if you have tremendous depth, you don't worry about that. You just go to your next rotation and put those guys on the field. You shouldn't play with tired football players when we have as much depth as we have.
What about your perspective on the O-line? I mean, you've seen that thing kind of grow and develop from the other side of the ball. What's it been like watching that?
Well, first of all, Matt Leinberg is an unbelievable coach. One of the best I've ever been around. You just watch the talent that we've recruited coming into those positions, watching those guys grow, the Mike Bennett and such, and Mike Miranda and all those guys, and C.J. Thorpe as a freshman coming in. But then you still got Nelly, and you still got Big Baby, and you still got Big Bacon. You know Big Bacon? All right, so I'm throwing out these nicknames because it's coming to my tongue like that. But you still got those guys that are nucleus in the core of your line, and they just do a tremendous job working in sync.
Spence, how excited are you to get a guy like Damian Barber in here?
It's awesome, man. The guy did what he had to do to get here, and when you can give that guy an opportunity now that he's done everything he was supposed to do, give him an opportunity to come to a place like Penn State and play. It's just a blessing. I saw him today. We call him Smiley. He's all smiles. I'm excited to get him on campus, get him rolling.
Spence, after last year's opener, when you enrolled that a lot of young guys, we heard a ton about gap discipline, how you could have had X amount of sacks more against Kent State. At this stage when you're going to roll out more young guys, does that become not a concern, but an extra focus considering the time of year and your personnel?
Yeah, I think, in that game, I think we had 7, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was one of those games where we probably missed like 4 or 5. So, that's going to happen, and I think that comes with maturity. You were playing a lot of redshirt freshmen. Kevin Givens was a redshirt freshman. It was his first game of college football. So, and obviously then we go into the next phase in those next couple of games. We kind of, we lost our gaps in those games. But, talking about gap discipline is just, find out from what we go from the practice field onto the game field. This is what I'm teaching in practice, and this is what I need to see emulated during the game.
Talk a lot about depth. In terms of your 2 defensive tackles that you signed, Corey Bowles and Fred Hampton, do you see a role for them this year, or are they still need time to grow?
It's still a growing process for them, man. When you got a lot of guys like that are, got a lot of guys ahead of them right now, it's still a learning curve. The game is a lot faster for them. They're both very, very talented, extremely talented. I think both of those guys had their best day of practice yesterday. I was able, because it was a special teams practice, I was able to stay with them a long time and work on some of the details that they have been missing. And I'm just excited about both of those guys.
With camp as long as it is now, starting in the end of July, how has the intensity been, and how have you tried to keep that going with a longer period of time, maybe not a number?
I think it's more days, but it's less strain on your body. So you have the walkthroughs, the controlled walkthroughs, and those type of days. We don't have any days where we practice twice in a day. You just got to keep them engaged. Like today, we watched the film on John Randall for 15 minutes. Just a guy that played the game at a high level. Yesterday, I gave a lesson on the Pullman techniques. I'm just trying to do everything I can to keep them engaged. And I'm not just talking about football, just as a whole, because I think it's our job and our responsibility as educators to them that we show them more than football.
Did you pick John Randall for a reason?
I love that guy. That guy plays like a maniac. So, and I want my guys to play like that, with that relentless attitude, that effort. And he was undrafted, a small college guy that just came into the fold in the NFL, and he played the game the way I want my guys.
Any other nicknames we should be aware of as you come into this camp?
We got Lobo, that's Etor. We got Day Day, that's Corey Bowles. We got Fred, we say his name was long, we put a bunch of D's on it right there, and we call Damian Smiley right now. But by the end of camp, by the end of the transition of him coming into school, we'll have a different nickname for him.
What's the best part you play that you've seen this camp from the side? Because obviously you guys are smart about how you use it and when you use it.
Probably anytime you touch the ball. There was one play last week where I think they hit him on a screen pass and he just went. And all the defensive guys have been in now like they actually could have touched him and they couldn't have. So he's fun to watch, man. He's just fun to watch. And myself and Mark, we chirp back and forth during the lines the whole time. So it was kind of fun. The other day I challenged him to 10 push-ups because I wasn't going no higher than that. They got to 495. So I challenged him to 10 push-ups if they lost, and the defense won that segment. So he got those 10.
Time for 2 more.
What does he say to you? What does he chirp? Because he's always like so polite.
Oh, he's competitive now.
Right.
I mean, so just when the defense loses a rep, he comes running at me and where they at, Spence? Where they at, Spence? It's just funny. It goes way back. When the relationship goes way back, so it's awesome.
Has he hurled anybody this game?
No, we saving that
By
one.
design.
We're saving that one. That's part of getting rid of his reps. Let him not hurt him now.